This is a beautiful day to talk about detachment, isn't it? To live in a world as we do with so much beauty and everything, and yet to realize that if we are attached to any one particular thing or things, that what will happen is that we will be drawn away from our center, and taken away from our center, we will begin to lose our spiritual identity, and that which we wish to possess will now possess us. So we're moving into the awareness today about the importance of detachment. This is the path of the householder, and in that path, you don't necessarily get rid of everything, but the trick is not to be attached. You still can have stuff, you can still have relationships, you can still have responsibilities in the world, you can still have a career. But the trick is to know how to place it in such a way that you still maintain the authority of your own life and you don't let anything rule you. We lose control of our lives when we let something be so important that we cannot keep our mind clear, we cannot keep discernment active, when we lose our center and we lust or strive excessively for, or feel as though we could not be happy without, or in some ways we are lost when we feel like we are losing it. That is the attachment we're trying to break. Earlier we talked about discernment. And part of the process of being wise with detachment is to be able to discern what it is we're attached to and why. And when we can do that, and that comes with contemplation, of course, that comes with paying attention, it comes with a clear mind. And essentially, detachment will give us that. It will redirect our identity toward our true self instead of the things that we think we need to have. And those things that we think we need to have could be as varied as a new car, or a new job, or a relationship, or any form of acknowledgement that comes from the community. If we feel like we have to have it, we will be so limited. The place of true fulfillment, the deeper place of fulfillment for those who are on the spiritual path, is not in a piece of property or in a boat or a particular person or anything. It's not in successes. It happens to be in surrendering into this, surrendering the ego, I guess, really, into this deeper place inside us, where we don't always get what we want. We don't always have the things in the outer that affirm us on an ego basis, that don't necessarily affirm our expectations. Those things, they can be missing, and yet we can be in a happier, deeper, richer place because we are not attached to them. Now, if we're not attached, we can also have them. We can have the pleasure of them, but we can have the loss of it. And if we're not spiritually bypassing, we will probably feel experiences of gain and loss, of joy and sadness. We'll feel that. But if we're in a detached mode, we can even have those experiences, those emotions, and still not be controlled by them. The freedom and the sense of happiness that comes with knowing who we really are can still persist even as we have the wins and losses and the emotions that go with it. And that is the real benefit of detachment. When you begin to get clear on how to detach, it allows your mind to gravitate toward that which is higher rather than what is the object of desire. When we begin to detach from having to do it the way we were told was success, and to realize that our deeper success is to be in relationship with the divine as it is in us and as we see it in others around us. And that process of having a deeper communion with that which is sacred supplants the need to do everything right, to be always successful, and to have everything be picture perfect. And so a lot of what I think spiritual practice does for us is it pushes us up against our pain. It brings us to the point of pain, really, because it's often painful to recognize where we're failing, where we have failed, how we are not perfect, how we are unlovable almost as we are. And at the same time, it seems to open a doorway to the realization that that's not all of who we are. And that gives us the space to detach from the circumstances of our lives and to rest more often in this spiritual place, in this higher place. So many of us have made mistakes in our lives that we find almost impossible to let go. And one form of detachment is that, to detach your addiction to feeling guilty or angry with yourself about something you did in the past. Let it go. Let that go for yourself. Let the other person's thing, whatever they did, let that go as well. Detach from being addicted to bringing your mind back to that painful situation and holding it so tight that it still affects you. Release it. This is the process of opening to the divine, letting go of our attachments at this level so that we might rise above it to a higher level and experience that which is steady, that which is calm and beautiful, that which is bliss in itself, that knows itself to be complete and full. And so in no way could it be attached to anything because it needs nothing. Rest in the divine and not be obsessed by what the things that happen on this plane are.